Raise of hands, how many people have seeing the Fujitsu presentation for the first time? Can I have few? Quite a lot. Okay, then in that case, it's very essential for me to talk about what is Fujitsu all about, because none of my fellow presenters in the previous slides did not talk about much. So first thing, I would like to introduce what is Fujitsu all about. But before I do that, as you can see, my role is I'm responsible for the product business in Fujitsu India. 22 years of work experience I have, and 7 years young in Fujitsu. So with this, I start my presentation introducing what is Fujitsu. Who are we? Well, established in the year 1935, headquarters in Tokyo, Japan. We're talking about a revenue of nearly $40 billion of revenue, operating profit of nearly 1,000 million, 3.8% of our total revenue we spend in R&D. It means I'm talking about knowing my product life cycle either for a span of 3 years, 5 years, or 7 years. That's the type of solidarity which I have on my products, on my solutions, which I get across to you, and 97,000 patents which I carry in through. So that's Fujitsu all about. And most important, I'm a profitable organization to work with. The largest in terms of IT services when it comes to Japan, 5th largest in the world. We do everything in ICT. I have a slide to talk about this, so probably you will understand what I'm talking about, be it product, be it services, be it consulting, be it applications, anything you can think on the umbrella of ICT, I do that all. 156,000 employees across the globe, and Fortune magazine in the 4th consecutive year made Fujitsu as the most admired company to work with. So that's what I talk Fujitsu all about. Very, very impressive organization to work with, be it products, be it solutions, and be it services. That's where we come in from. That's Fujitsu. Well, I put this slide over here just to talk about the favorites of us. We're talking about data center. Okay, I do not manufacture the products for data centers. I don't talk about servers or the storage or the network which we deliver inside the data center. We own this data center. Data center is my core business. More than 100 data centers across the globe. It means what it goes, be it power, be it space, be it cooling, be it various facilities which goes in data centers, I am aware of all these things. So when you as customer talk to me on the data center, I have an end-to-end visibility on what a data center would look upon. We own more than 100 data centers across the globe. To talk about services, we talk 32 languages across the globe. So apart from products, the people who are going to miss the services line of business or the services line of presentation, which is going on a parallel track, well, we do speak in multiple languages across the globe, be it a help desk center, be it a data center services, be it integration services, we could offer you all under a MIS offering. I just spoke about ICT portfolio, okay? So when you talk about servers, storage, the laser doesn't work, sorry. We talk about servers, storage, industry-specific products, client computing products. You have the entire layer of products. I'm going to talk about it shortly. Along with the products, I'm talking about solutions, which are integrated solutions, which we have gathered here for. I'm talking about software, the range of software, be it Oracle, be it SAP, be it Microsoft, be it Salesforce, the entire gamut of software which we bring into the customer over here. The layer on the product which we have in MIS, which I spoke about, end user services, the help desk centers, network communication, service desk, technical support, you name the services which we could deliver. A team of more than 200 professionals in India delivering this entire set of services, which is the MIS services I'm talking. We talk about the consulting, which is the business application services. In this business application services, we talk about softwares or applications like SAP, like Oracle, like Microsoft. You're talking about deployment. You're talking about buying licenses. You're talking about migrations. You're talking about doing lifecycle management. We do it all under our BAS portfolio. And last but not the least is the industry-specific solutions. Be it telecom, be it retail, be it innovative solutions from the banking perspective, we do it all. We have booths over here you've been seeing in that what type of solutions which we bring, particularly from the industry perspective. So that's the overall ICT portfolio which Fujitsu carries in through. Well, the products which I'm responsible for. On my right, you could see a CCD line of products, which we call client computing devices, starting with a small mouse, keyboard, or a monitor. We do it all on peripherals. Desktops, the world-class desktops which we manufacture, which is called workstations, Celsius workstations. We have the range of Celsius workstation, which we very closely work along with Intel, and we offer the entire platform to work upon. You could see the samples of workstations which has been over here, which are usually the entire line of products which we have on the desktops over here. On the mobiles, the very famous Lifebook series of the mobile, so right from your variants of 14 inches, 15 inches, a Q series, and the latest entry which is going to come about is an R726, which you could see in over there. Most of the laptops which I'm talking about are manufactured in Fujitsu, Germany. So all the products which you can see in over here are manufactured in our German factory. On the right-hand side, you could see the product which is from DC offering. You have servers, which I'm going to talk, storage, which a colleague of mine is going to talk shortly on the presentation. On the solutions, what we deliver in the country is high-performance computing solution. More than 168 high-performance computing installations in this country. That's the type of the installations what we have done in this country. SAP, large installations. I'm going to talk about the installations in this country. So anything what you're talking about on SAP HANA as your organization to look upon, we could deliver it end-to-end. Last but not the least is the big data. This is the latest entrant in our solution offering, right from consulting to putting up the infrastructure stack to doing lifecycle management and giving you a journey of 3 years, 5 years, and making this big data available to your organization. That's the key thing which we do it in big data. And last but not the least is the integrated solutions for which I'm going to take through the journey. Before that, let me quickly run about what do we do in MIS and professional services. So in the MIS, you could see in over here is I'm talking about data center services. The customers you're looking for an end-user services, RIM services. On professional services, talking about platform integration, third-party integration, middleware implementation, network security implementation, anything what you could think about, Fujitsu or non-Fujitsu, we can do it all over here. So that's the MIS portfolio which we carry in through. BaaS services, I spoke to you a few minutes back. These are the alliances which we work upon, be it SAP, Microsoft, Salesforce, ServiceNow, Oracle. If you're thinking about buying licenses, if you're thinking about deployment, if you're thinking about migration from your previous platform, if you're thinking about putting up a custom tailor-made type of a solution to your organization, we do it all. So that's the BaaS, Business Application Services, which we have end-to-end service capabilities in the country. Few customers, which is be it retail, be it financial, be it transport logistics, utilities, health, communication, manufacturing, and public sector. So whichever sectors which you fall in, we have tailor-made, customized solution for specific verticals. So if you think that you're looking in for a specific solution or a specific services from Fujitsu, which is for your organization or for your vertical, we do that. Get in touch with us. Andy spoke about various IoT services, which we talk about, the industry verticals which we can attach to over here. We can deliver all the services, all the product solutions which you're looking upon to your particular line of business. Well, now I come to the interesting topic of the evening, which is PRIMEFLEX. What is PRIMEFLEX? Well, PRIMEFLEX is nothing but an integrated solution. When I'm talking about integrated solution, it's a combination of hardware, software, and a service. Hardware would constitute of your server, your storage, your network, your switching. Software would talk about your hypervisor, OS, and services is a one service contract. That's a PRIMEFLEX. So when an appliance comes to you, which is a combination of hardware, software, and services, when it comes to your doorstep, it's ready to use. How? What? I can just going to talk about over here. But before that, why should you consider as integrated services? First thing, reduce budget. This is usually the challenge for most of the organization. It means you had servers in past, you were running your applications in silos, and now you're talking about getting to a new version of application. But in the newer version of application, you have challenges of reduced budget, you have a legacy system, you have an insufficient storage, you have rationalization of space. It means always a challenge of the space, what you're finding in over here. You have servers which are running on silos and the applications which are running on silos, and you need virtualization to happen through. And to cover the entire thing, I'm talking about security, which gives you, so the people or the customers who are looking upon the entire gamut of the solution, which can give you the entire offering in over here, should look upon PrimeFlex as an offering. What's the value proposition for PrimeFlex? First, it's fast, it's reliable, it's simple and affordable. Okay, let me just bring to your notice about, for example, if you have to bring, or if you have to put in a application or a virtualization to your organization. Probably you want 200 VMs in your organization, so what would you do? Typically, you would call a hypervisor organization, be it a VMware, be it a Microsoft, be it a Citrix. You buy, you size your application, and you buy the VMware license from them. Yeah? Then you talk about the server vendor. The server vendor comes in and does the same sizing of his application, and then you look upon buying a server from them. Then you look upon a storage vendor to integrate the storage in this entire solution, and then you talk about the network vendor. And then you have 4 service contracts which are having 4 different variations. Be it a 3-year warranty, be it a 5-year warranty, be it a 4-hour SLA, be it an 8-hour SLA, be it an SLA or non-SLA, but you have to manage the entire gamut of contracts over here. Look at the time which it takes for you to deliver your projects which comes in online over here. Probably 2 months, yeah? 3 months, 6 months? It could vary, depends upon the complexity. Over here, we have a solution which takes you flat 4 weeks to 5 weeks. It means when the solution or the appliance comes to your doorstep, it's ready to use. Within 15 minutes to 50 minutes. What flavors are these? I'm going to talk about shortly. The flavors of PrimeFlex. In case if your organization is looking upon buying PrimeFlex for data analytics, for private cloud, for virtualization, for SAP, for Microsoft, for desktop virtualization, for high availability on HPC, we have a PrimeFlex for all this situation. So in case if you're thinking about buying a solution for high performance computing, we could give you a PrimeFlex. If your organization is looking about desktop computing, we could give you a PrimeFlex. For an OpenStack, we could give you a PrimeFlex. For your SAP, we could give you a PrimeFlex. So we have a PrimeFlex for every situation, customers, what you're looking upon. And let me tell you, I'm going to talk about the benefits of this PrimeFlex. It's extremely beneficial when it comes to you, to ease of use, tried and tested, and saves minimum 50% of cost efficiency and time and go-to-market. PrimeFlex, basic flavors of PrimeFlex, it's hyper-converged and it's converged. It means it's either software-defined or hardware-defined. On my right, you have PrimeFlex, which is hyper-converged, which is software-defined. Hyper-converged with the help of VMware and Microsoft. On my left, you have PrimeFlex, which are hardware-defined over here, which is V-Shape for enterprise, and OpenStack. So that's the difference between the converged and the hyper-converged network of PrimeFlex. What is it all about? I'm going to talk about in the next slides. First, cluster in the box. That's the first appliance which comes in from the Fujitsu. This is a hyper-converged system. Over here, it's a combination of a Primergy rack server, Primergy CX server, along with Windows 2012. A highly available system. It's software-defined, as I've mentioned. What is the key point over here, guys? It could scale from 2 VMs to 200 VMs. And when you have 200 VMs coming to your organization, you can install within your organization within flat 15 minutes. One service contract, flat installation in 15 minutes. Okay? Because this is an already pre-configured, pre-tested machine or appliance. When it comes to your doorstep, it's ready to use. You can use the VMs the way in which you want to size it up. That's the beauty of cluster in box. We're talking about nothing less than 45% reduction in the infrastructure cost over here. So that's the cluster in box, the first one. The second one to come over here is a collaboration with VMware. It is a combination of a rack server, CX server, along with your virtualization layer of SAN 6.2. Highly available for virtualization system. Most important, you can get up to 64 hosts and 6,400 VMs. You could install all these things just on 2 clicks. 5,000 VMs you could have at your doorstep, and it's up and running just on 2 clicks. It means you're not buying any additional hardware, you're not buying any additional software, you're not buying any additional service contract. It comes to you, it's up and running. That's the beauty of this appliance, which is VMware for vSAN. As I mentioned, it talked about 40% reduction in the overall operating cost and 60% reduction in the overall admin cost. That's the vSAN, which we offer on the hyperconverged platform. And the next I move is V-Shape, which is the converged network. Now I come about and talk about the appliance, which is hardware defined. Hardware defined, I work over here with rack servers, with Eternus, and with fast. So in case of the customer is looking in for using a NetApp as a device on the storage, well, NetApp devices are completely integrated into our solutions. So you can have a NetApp as an offering over here. It comes with a switching network from Brocade. You can use a hypervisor, either a Microsoft or a VMware, and last but not the least, it covers a single contract. So it means if you're buying as a total package, you don't need to buy separate storage, you don't need to buy separate servers, you don't need to buy separate licenses, either from Microsoft or from VMware. You have a single contract giving you an SLA of either 3 years, 5 years, or 7 years, depending upon the life cycle of the entire machine you want to manage through. And what it gives you it gives you 30% reduction in the cost, and I can prove it. In case if people are thinking that, okay, I can buy it separately, I can buy hardware separately, I can buy software separately, I can buy network separately, integrate it myself, and do it, I can give you in writing that probably we are talking about minimum 30% cost reduction when you buy an integrated solution. And apart from that, what's more important is 72% more fast operation. It means the go-to-market of your organization could be 72x faster. And that's the beauty of the system. And 80% more performances. These are all third-party performances, so probably even if you're talking about comparison as an integrated device or a siloed device, you could have this comparison for yourself. vShape for enterprises. The earlier one, which I've talked about, was for the mid-level enterprises. This is talking about from a high-level enterprises. The customer who's talking about going to the cloud, we're talking about the PrimeFlex for a V-Shape for an enterprise customers. Over here is the same configuration which you're talking about. The basic fundamentals remain the same. It means it's a combination of a rack server or a blade server, giving you an offering of a networking from Brocade, giving you a hypervisor from Microsoft or from VMware, and one service contract, which could scale up to around 800 VMs over here. Okay, 60% of IT shifted from maintenance innovations, and 70% of cost reduction in terms of footprint. Beautiful devices, up and running, guys. When it comes to your doorstep, you don't have to buy anything else. You can get off the shelf 25 VMs to 200 VMs, the way in which you want to define your VMs. You can upload your application on an immediate basis and start running. Within not 6 months, not 4 months, not 2 months, but within 4 to 5 weeks. That's the beauty of PrimeFlex, what I'm talking about over here. Well, if the customer is talking about neither a VMware nor a Microsoft platform, and if you have a homegrown platform which you want an OpenStack to work upon, you have a PrimeFlex for an OpenStack also. Again, the fundamentals will be the same. You have a stack of servers, storage, a network device integrated extremely well with the applications what you're talking about. And when it comes to you as your doorstep, you could have a ready-to-use appliance. That's the beauty of PrimeFlex. We can use it extremely well upon your OpenStack also. Well, before I move from a converged and hyperconverged network, also I would like to bring your attention towards PrimeFlex for HANA. So this is the slide which I'm going to talk about very quickly. You have a session which is going in the next door in the next session. But even if you're talking about anything and everything about HANA, or be it an SAP infra, we do deliver it under a PrimeFlex. We have more than 10 years of expertise working extremely close with SAP as partners and at Intel as a partners to deliver you world-best solutions. Be it SAP HANA, be it a TDI approach, be it a supported approach, or be it an infrastructure for SAP. we could deliver you all, okay? And even if you're talking about mission-critical applications where you want a 24/7 by 365 governance over here, we could offer you by offering a competency services, which is on the last expertise, wherein you could have your network or your infrastructure being monitored for any patch upgrade, for any failures, for pre-detection failures, and for the best of the class services, which you could take directly from Germany. So the entire portfolio, be it a product, be it a solution, or be it a service, we could offer everything what you're talking about on an SAP HANA or an SAP Infra Solutions. That's PrimeFlex for SAP. Last but not the least, in terms of the PrimeFlex I'm talking about is a Hadoop solution. Within the country, if your organization wants to go for data analytics, we have a team who can come, who can visit your organization, do a 2 days of survey, a consultative survey, will understand the requirements, what you're talking about, put up a structure in terms of what you need to analyze the data, be it a real-time data, be it a data which is a volatile data, or be it a data which is from the structured data. What type of analysis engine what you need to do into, and position a bill of material, give it to you, install, configure, put in a tracks, and give you the data the way in which you're looking for analytics. End-to-end services, products and solutions we could offer, which is the capabilities of Fujitsu, which could deliver it over here. We work with partners like SAP, VMware, Citrix, Ferrari, Microsoft, Red Hat, which becomes an integral part of our overall solution. So all these people, you do not have to go in silos. Any of the solutions which you're talking about, be it sales or be it services, you get a one window to connect. That's Fujitsu. Few customers, have we sold it? Yes, we have sold it in umpteen instances, be it RBS, be it Canongate, be it Murphy Richards. Few Indian customers over here to talk about, be it Mahindra and Mahindra, I'm talking about somebody which is like in your city, Asian Paints, 3G Polymers, Sterlite, Tara, Cementec, all customers which I'm talking about as an appliance customer. Tried, tested solutions, when it comes to your doorstep, ease and immediate to use upon, okay? These are some large industry veterans, I'm sure these logos are very familiar to you, but do understand about our solutions, about our offering, which gives you a complete stack to offer, which is ready to use. We're talking about from 2 VMs to 6,000 VMs off the shelf. Few more customers examples, be it BCCL, be it Siemens, be it HPC, Rehau. Well, I didn't want to have the slide, but anyway, this is something which is called, if you're talking about, or if you're talking to my competitive landscape, with Nutanix, with VCE, do take us into consideration. We have solutions which are not a vertically scalable, but a horizontally scalable solution. Extremely affordable with high industry standards with third-party benchmarks, which the people and the third-party benchmarks rates us with. That's the solutions which we're talking about over here. You saw Andy's slide, and in fact, before I complete my presentation, we're talking about bringing changes to your businesses. So I could see people, I met the people during the day. If you're talking about people in retail industry, people in police department, people in energy or in manufacturing, people in developing smart city nations over here, people talking about in eco-based aviation industry and banking and finance. In case if you think that you want to deliver an IoT solution or put up an IoT solution in your organization, we have all wherewithal. Okay? How to go about, where to go about, how does it benefit to your organization? It's a complete consultative approach, an end-to-end approach, which my team could come to your organization and take you through. So if you think that IoT is not going to touch your organizations, no, it's a myth. You will see each organization in the world is going to be touched by IoT somewhere or the other. Summarize, be it integration, be it mobility, be it big data, be it security, be it cloud, be it software-defined connected, be it product, be it solutions, be it services. You can have it all under one umbrella, which is from Fujitsu. Feel free to get in touch with us after the presentation also. We are very much available, me and Christian over here.